Good morning. Let's get into the Kirkland, Washington sales update in this area for real estate. Let's just jump in, and I really appreciate you being here. So let's get into this right now. So Kirkland, Washington is located just north of the Bellevue area inside of Washington. This is also in the greater Seattle area. It's also to the north of 520, and it's just wedged below the 522 inside of King County, Washington. Now, there's about 92,000 people that live inside the Kirkland, Washington area, and this is one of our main suburbs. And it's right next to both Redmond as well as Bellevue, and just across the lake from the Seattle area. And also, because I use the Space Needle as our point of reference, it is to the northeast of the Space Needle, approximately 15 miles over the 520 floating bridge. Now that we have a quick walk on, let's actually get into some of the numbers behind everything. So Kirkland, Washington, available to buy right now. There's also a very large range of homes that are available right now to actually purchase. There's 140 homes right now inside of this area, and they average all the way from a condo at $350,000 all the way up to a $9 million house on Champagne Point. Now, I don't want to get specific into each one individually because that's something that you or your agent will do individually, or you can even look at Zillow. But I want to give you a general idea that in the area, as of this morning, there's 140 homes inside of Kirkland that are available for purchase. The average purchase price, again, because we're using those very high numbers as well, is $2 million. And then also, I noticed that the days on market is pushing 42 days on market, with the average available on the market at $827 a square foot. Now let's get into the actual numbers here, because this is very specific to you. Because I'm going to compare July this year versus July last year. And I want to give you an idea of where the actual market is inside this, because what I just covered, that was available for purchase. That's not homes that people actually bought. I want to actually talk about the homes that actually completed inside their sale, so now you have an idea of what you're working with. So Kirkland 2022 July, last year there was 31 days, and inside those 31 days last year there was 104 houses actually sold. They completed, the transaction was over, keys were exchanged for money, title was recorded, and now we have a new family in that home. And what that came out to is $688 a square foot, and the average home being sold at that time was just over $1.36 million. Roughly 13 days on market, 3 beds, 2 bath, and 1,800 square feet. Now let's compare that though to this year inside Kirkland, the same 31 days, but just a different year. There was actually 7 more houses actually sold during this time. There was 111 homes actually sold. That's interesting because yesterday I actually compared Bothell, which is an adjacent property, an adjacent area to Kirkland, and it had a 19% decrease. But this one was roughly a 6% increase. Now, actually, when we get into it, though, the price per square foot sold, recorded again, keys exchanged, you now have a new home, and you now sold your home, and now you have money in the bank, is $647 a square foot. And again, it came out to $1.36 actual $1 million. Now, I want to compare an apples to apples so you actually know what that kind of looks like, because I averaged the two sizes together and I multiplied them against the cost per square foot. And what I came out to is actually a $79,000 decrease in equity. Now, that means that the average home actually being sold right now inside of this area comes out to $1.25 million. And that again is a $79,000 equity decrease. Now, I want to compare that though for you, because again, that home is 1926 square feet. And what that comes out to, just so you know, that 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house, it comes out to $1.25 million, so $1.25. But the mortgage to actually buy that is pushing $8,000 a month. Now, that's $7,778 to be exact, and I actually came out with our mortgage calculator over here because this is today's interest rates inside this market. You want to make sure that you actually keep this in mind. And again, a lot of the teaser rates that we go into with the interest rates are what we actually see on a teaser rate basis. Now, I'm not giving you financial advice right now, but I'm also giving you, a heads up as a real estate agent that, everybody's FICO and down payment is different. I'm using a 15% in this right now with a 700 to 720 interest rate score. And the average interest rate inside this, inside of the United States right now is 698 on the credit score. So just so you have an idea, this is just a little bit above average, and this is what people would actually qualify for. Now, we'd be looking at a jumbo loan to actually buy a house like that, but I actually want to just kind of talk about that because that now you have an idea of what you're actually affording to pay. And I actually did the math on this side. You could also use this calculator. This is through Google. This is not proprietary at all. And at the same time, I recommend you use Google for this because a lot of the bankrate.com or Zillow or something like that, they're trying to capture your information and sell you off to a real estate agent like me. So I just want to give you an idea behind the curtain of what actually it looks like. Because if you were to turn around and rent that house instead of actually buy it, that $7,778 a month, it would actually only cost you $4,200 roughly. So now you have an idea where you're actually at a disadvantage of buying right now versus renting. Because if you move into the area, you're a high earner and you're trying to buy a house at this time, you're going to be needing to bring at least $100,000 of pre-tax $100,000 of your income needs to be committed just to qualify for this loan. And you'd be pushing, and again, I'm not a mortgage guy, but you're going to be pushing an income range of $250,000 to $280,000, $300,000 to actually qualify for this loan. That also means if you were to rent instead of buy right now inside of this area, statistically it is 182% more to actually buy right now than it is to rent. So right now it might be a better time for you to actually rent instead of buy, which is also kind of interesting because I don't hear a lot of real estate agents actually telling you that. And at the same time, I'm only here to help you follow your path on what you need to be at. And again, if you need me, you can contact me right here. My number is at the bottom of the page. So yeah, again, I just want to go into this a little bit because it's a little bit different. I want to cover some things for you because inside of Kirkland, from this year to last year, there was roughly an $80,000 equity decrease. At the same time, the home sales stayed about the same. When we also compare it to the next door neighbor, Bothell, we can actually see that, it stayed kind of steady when Bothell went down. So this is kind of where we're at in the market right now. You need to take your time and actually figure out what is important to you, what's important to your family, and what actually makes financial sense. And you need to talk to people like me about that. And if you have any questions, you can reach me right here. Or if you want to talk to a mortgage provider that I know, you can also reach out to me. Or if you're interested in something else or in a different area, just hit me up and I'll connect you with somebody. And again, I want to just say thank you to you and anyone that's out there. This is my listing also in Kirkland. It is in this price range. I do help people that are in this range, and I also help people all the way down to rentals. So if you have questions on this stuff, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to talk to you. So thank you very much again, and it was a pleasure working with you.